sing Parashat Yitro. This is a shiur on Parashat Yitro. Now, Torah tells us that when Yitro heard that what happened to Moshe and Kahal Israel, and Kahal Israel are coming out, Yitro went to greet Moshe Rabbeinu, coming out of Mitzrayim. Torah says, Yitro took Sipora, Eshed Moshe, V'achar Shulecha, V'chenei Baneha. Yitro took Sipora, his wife, and 2 children, Achar Shulecheha. After that, he sent her. Now, Rashi says, what's going on over here? When HaKadosh Baruch Hu told Moshe, go from in Midian, go and save Kahal Israel, Moshe Rabbeinu took his wife and children. The Pasuk says, the Pasuk in Parashat Hashem said that he took his wife and children. And here we find that the wife and children are by Yitro. What happened? In the Parashat Shemot we learn that Moshe took wife and children to go to Mitzrayim to save Kahal Israel. And here we find that the wife and children are by Yitro. Torah says, Achar Shulucheha. Torah says, the Pasuk says, after that Moshe sent them. Now what's the story? What happened? Now Rashi explains. When they came, Pasuk Bet, page 204, Pasuk Bet Rashi, when Moshe Rabbeinu took his wife and children coming close to Mitzrayim, Moshe went outside to greet Moshe Rabbeinu and tell them, who are these people? Who are these children and wives? These are my children that they brought them. Amalu. Where are you taking them? To Mitzrayim. He says, Amalu al Harushanim al Mitzrayim, V'achta Balotziv Alehem. On those that are in Mitzrayim, we are suffering. How to take them out? You want to add to the load? He told them, go to your house. She took the children and went to the Yitro. Oh, it's very interesting. There is a debate here between Moshe and Aaron whether the wife and children should go to Mitzrayim or not. What is it? What did Moshe Rabbeinu think? Aaron is right. Should we add to the load? Of course not. Now listen to this. Unbelievable Yesod Torah. Moshe Rabbeinu is thinking that HaKadosh Baruch Hu is going to do so many miracles in Mitzrayim. The water becomes dam, frogs, lice, wild animals, shechin, dever, choshech, arbe, choshech, makat bechorot. And my children should see that. If they see all of these miracles, they're going to have a stronger emunah to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. They understand Hashem better. It's good for them to see that. And there is a machloket whether Yitro came before Matan Torah or after Matan Torah. If you learn Yitro came after Matan Torah, that means to say that Moshe's wife and his children physically were not by Har Sinai. They weren't, because Yitro came after Matan Torah. There's a machloket about it. Moshe Rabbeinu is thinking, it's good for my wife and children come to Mitzrayim and to see the miracles of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, to see all of these 10 plagues. It makes them to have a different emunah to Hashem. It makes them to realize HaKadosh Baruch Hu much better. Hashem would go to their bones, to their cells, penetrate inside. But Aharon tells Moshe Rabbeinu, my dear brother, don't make a mistake. This Mitzrayim is full of tumah, full of corruption. And you don't want your children to be exposed to this corruption. It's not good for them. It hurts them. It makes their neshama dirty. Do you understand what's happening here? All of 10 plagues, all of the nisim, all of the niflaot, even Matan Torah, it's not worth it if the neshama becomes dirty, if there's exposure to tumah. The image of tumah prints on the neshama. To remove it is very hard. It's not so easy. Unbelievable yesod, unbelievable point. Exposure to tumah, exposure to tumah. Moshe Rabbeinu thought that seeing 10 plagues is better. Now, listen to our justification. We take our children and ourselves go to a makom of tumah because to do mitzvah. It's a mitzvah. I want to do this mitzvah. I want to do this. Torah is telling us it's not worth it. It's not worth it to make exposure to our children, to see the Toma, to see the corruption. Oh, there's the mitzvah. We're going to do such a great mitzvah, such a great accomplishment. But at the end of the day, it's not worth it. Let me tell you a story. I met a boy. I told him that boy that went up there was frum, was religious, was keeping Torah mitzvot. What happened to you? It wasn't all of a sudden, of course, but what made the turn? What made the turn? How did it start? Just one night having a wrong angle and being a wrong place made it, he said. You know, person thinks, okay, it's one time. Person feels it's one moment. It's one occasion. It doesn't hurt. It's not so bad. It's not so terrible. But you never know in life. One wrong turn makes the person to turn his life. Makes the person to turn his everlasting life. It's unbelievable, Yesod. Unbelievable point. It's very hard for me to digest this point. But Torah is the Torah of reality. Torah is teaching us what's the real life about. If you want our children to be safe, our family to be safe, we have to be very careful with exposure. And unfortunately, the exposure was out of the home. And Kahal Israel knew to keep his home clean, not to go to these places. But right now, exposure is in the house. Everything is there. We have to be very careful. We have to understand. Now, how should we do it? We have to exposure to Torah, to mitzvot, to ruchniot, to happiness and joy at home. If you have a joyful home, if you have a happy home, children don't look for something else. If the nest is a beautiful nest, it's warm, it's full of love and dedication, a bird doesn't fly away so easily. That's the yesod of Torah. If you make the home beautiful, home of serenity, home of love, home of dedication, that the children would feel happy, then they would not fly away from the home. Good home makes the good children and flourishes good children, and people don't want to leave home, to leave this sweet home so easily.